Nice try. I'll yield to none.
Better luck next time.
Nice try.
I'll yield to none.
Almost got me that time.
I'm ready. Meet your maker.
Prepare yourself.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of sauce.
Русский язык в стиме поставь. Сейчас скажу тебе точно где. Выбираешь в стиме свойства. И там есть язык. Ставишь русский.
I'd come here to kill God-woken. But instead I became part of their story.
Well, look what the doc dug up. You're lucky they didn't notice just how thin you were under those bandages.
Да я фиг его знает, я говорю, только у меня игра-то давно уже куплена, еще, не знаю, полгода, год назад. Я в нее не играл. Решил, сейчас вышел релиз, посмотреть, что как.
Although, seeing someone wrapped up like that, they probably thought you had the scabbing plague. Heh? Look, laugh, but don't touch. Better keep that hood down, mind you. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
Did the murderer take him into this room? Or was he already here?
Да, перевод еще тут бета, полная версия, ну то есть будет 21 сентября готова. Вот здесь еще пока не полная версия, видишь, еще не полностью все переведено.
Playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea. Playing dead, are you? Probably playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea.
Now, where did I leave my calipers?
Yes, this is a rare kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters right away. no known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the others.
А ты в курсе про маску, которую можно сделать, и это можно с помощью нее превращаться там в гнома, в человека и т.д. т.п.
I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Ah, you're up. Yes. There. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not a... In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and you'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Насчет бонуса не знаю, но ты можешь превращаться в любой из 4 видов. Ну там и сколько их там. Человек, гном, эльф, ящер. То есть капюшон тебе не надо носить, ты можешь просто ее активировать и ходить так. Может какие-то бонусы, если я не знаю, но вот можно превращаться в любой это. Это, наверное, актуально там с диалогами связано, если свой вид, наверное, диалоги другие какие-то, или проще что-то там это, фиг его знает.
No, you're alive and you're having a conversation. You are on a ship, of course.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous. Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. A new life awaits. And if you're a particular wife for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling.
You better stop before you hurt yourself. Oh, there you have it, see? The collar's function. It... for your own peace of mind, of course. You're...
Yes, this is a rare kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Oh, everything's spick and span. Nothing left to do, really.
Did the murderer take him into this room? Or was he already here?
Спасибо. Исправил.
Good gods. There's been a murder here.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this. Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. We'll find out who did this.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about thanks? I just want to catch whoever did this before.
Ну, блин, ее оперный театр. Знал бы, не стал бы смотреть. Где амулет? Нет, нельзя брать пока. Я повстречал с дрифта кокетку, такую красоту увидишь редко. Пришел к ней в дом, и выяснилось вдруг, что я обед, а барышня паук. Поев, девица губы облизала. «Спасибо», — молвила, и ускользнула. То, что я сейчас скажу, не будет ложью. С таких свиданий лишь опухнуть можно.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the others.
Please, please, please! Be good, you scallywags.
The Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Was one of them. I know it. Would you put a knuckle in
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
We're like cattle to them. I'll give you that.
I bet that's just what they'll look like. Rolling dice, deciding fates. Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I could lick your arm and tell you.
She looks at you in surprise when you bear an arm of bone.
My. Guess I'll have to find out the memory from Marrow, won't I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers, watching, staring at them, hoping that none would step. You were thinking of flesh. Or, to be rather more precise, the pleasures of the flesh.
She pats you on the shoulder consolingly.
There, don't you worry, darling. I don't lick and tell.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
В смысле тактически? Не понимаю. Имеешь сложность, что ли? Я не очень сложную делал. Не помню. А, сложность? А фиг его знает. Я не помню. А, вон. Классику. Я не стал первый раз это заморачиваться. Поставил на классику.
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares at...
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board and
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named... He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many...
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The Joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. Wonder if we'll get to meet the Ringmaster himself. Easy now. I might think the same, but Vic here will blow.
What are you conspiring about over there?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name!
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of...
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
It was one of them. I know it.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
One of us will kill our own. They're picking us off one
Well,
by one.
well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's...
The lizard looks you up and down, like a fox. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our...
Oh, goodness, no. And don't even mention the demon's testes that are turnips.
We've got this wolf on a leash now.
On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
It was one of them. I know it.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to...
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic. A bag is as good as a shirt, kind of. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after. Just as I thought. That explains what's besieging my nostrils. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit, and your personal hygiene reminds one of a carcass rotting in the sun. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry. I know, but you just don't have what it takes. A good slave's made of sterner stuff, I'm afraid. Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine.
I'll give you that knuckle if we keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad?
Divine Order loyal. They killed the sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but...
Listen up, kiddo. You hear that? The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom...
And? Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless babes who never loved anyone but their own mums. But there's more. Listen close. There now, just like that. Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy.
There, you heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, kiddo. Good. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Pardon my beard. That means if we've been travelling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy. No indeed, kiddo. But that ain't my final destination.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, kiddo.
He continues stroking his beard.
I've never dined on anything less than a dozen course dinners, and I don't intend to do away with it.
Wow! You look cool. I like your hair. I'm here because I'm magic. Do you know Los?
Ah, there you are. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa? How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Mad what? What's...
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on.
she turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You presume right. Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The other thanks. You take care.
Suddenly, as quickly as they came, the...
Good luck, Chief.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Please, please.
That's enough now.
There has been a
The
murder.
elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He reaches out and examines your bandages. He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page.
It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Oh, please. I have no interest in that. No. I want to know about This text tells where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the... Of course you don't have any useful information. Now, please, run along. I have a...
No amount of pen...
Do you mind?
What are you trying to hear anyway?
Here's the register, man. Good, good. You faring okay so far? I'm glad to hear it. You head on it.
How dare you classify this slop as food?
Trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer.
There's nothing else.
What on earth is the matter?
turnips and water are all I was...
Murder most foul, and I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end up...
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Прикол. Ой, блин, жесть.
snaps into splinters. Damn! That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards!
Bishop Alexander. If Lucian were alive, what would he think of his son's divine order?
Thank the gods!
He eyes the collar circling your neck.
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of you.
Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't. Some crazy banshee comes screaming.
He whispers loudly to the other Magister.
Don't just cower there, Rix. Take out your blood.
Rix grabs his sword, which shakes in the rhythm of his trembling hand. The Magisters.
Your lies and...
Thought Rivellon was flat.
God damn it! Need to get off this wreck, and quick!
Pass through the door. The skeleton.
No, it catches
the skeleton.
Oh, it's you.
The skeleton.
Yes. Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee to. Please, I had a mask. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools. Indeed. Just as sensible as getting off a sinking I would...
The skeletons.
Please, my time is short. Or the...
Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull!
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You press your palm. It doesn't budge. The door groans open.
Something's breaking through! What the hell are those things? Death fog. Good thing I'm immune. Still, this means trouble. Get off this ship.
Go on, kid, climb up there and dig in the rope.
My ball! You do it!
Not now.
My ball! You do it!
Go on, kid, climb up there and dig in the rope.
My ball! You do it!
Go on, kid, climb up there and dig in the rope.
My ball! You do it!
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to...
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you! There's a ladder right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear? Had to open your big mouth, didn't you?
Never leave someone behind.
Playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a The Magister lies on the floor, The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking...
If you could walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait! Void Woken!
I thought Void Woken was supposed to be scary.
I've faced worse.
Let the games begin.
Prepare yourself!
They who are about to triumph salute you.
These beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch. Meet your maker. No telling whether there might be more. We need to move.
Not carry. This old tub is about to burst.
Away.
They smell it worse dead than alive. Let's head above decks. This is the place. 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 This is the place.
hear something? It's Magister Siwan, the one who put on this We need to wait!
Lords! That thing! There's no time.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Those Voidwoken made short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor? This must be Fort Joy. Damn thing won't come off. I thought the Order would get rid of any trace. This statue must be 1,000 years old. Wonder how much longer it'll last.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Why? But are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching the shadows cloaking your face.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong or crazy. Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the island, and it's a lot nicer out here than outside. They're gone now. The Magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured, and maybe they're waiting for me back at home. But you didn't die. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary. There isn't anywhere safer. You'll see.
Void woken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it to shore.
You. I know you.
bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by a void woken. I wonder in which order.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright blood. Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Now then, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
Чё, зависло, что ли? Нет, отвисло.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Memories. Quite so.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass.
As for myself, when I consider this vast, I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Oh, may the seven have mercy on their own creation. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the spouse of the sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. Jolly good. The undead? Like your good self, you mean? Come now, did you really think a handful of linen towels can fool me? But don't worry. I have studied the arcane arts for years, including necromancy and demonology. I do not hold the petty prejudices of common folks. In fact, I prefer the exceptional in all things. Your secret is safe with me. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself, but I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic and, yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. Onwards, then, to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives...
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see... black cat. A deplorable surrounding for an agreeable conversation, but go ahead. I intend to rule an empire one day, not a tiny outcropping in the sea. To that end, I suggest, as am I. That said, but there was something in the water. A voice made of air, truly. How intriguing. Still.
He hesitates.
Are you a religious person? A pity. Religious persons tend to be all too self-important in their supposed humility. As for myself, after all, when one is revered by... There was such a nuisance. What I meant, sadly, that enlightened point of view, I hardly know you as yet. There isn't much... It's the portent of it all. And just as certain as the sun, such is my conviction. I will be...
Hey lady, it's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few... Ooh, that's a pretty one.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at its eye.
Our Father, who presideth over us all. Our Father, who presideth over us all. Need I repeat?
Please. Your Godwoken has asked you a question. Answer.
We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak.
Come on, old man. I
am a
can't wait
proud
all
loyal
day.
to the Order. I would not dream of subverting our cause.
Atusa. Your Godwoken has asked you a question. Answer him.
Need I repeat myself?
But I know nothing of any Verdus.
We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak. Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Stay silent, you!
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, Dallas.
Yes, Your Holiness.
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere. Where is he? Where is he?
The lizard magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her pet...
Come on then, Legsy. Pay up.
I find only bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or a brisket, toll's the same.
Your grift teaches you to bully others. Pathetic.
You keep his name out of your mouth, you filthy cud chewer.
This is not your business, long pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially a cheapskate like this.
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms. You recognize him.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is not...
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before...
Pay up, elf. No one shorts griff. Especially not one of you.
Burrow looks you both up and down, sizing...
Ah, get out of here. The both of you.
The elf smiles and bows to you.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
Ifan rolls his sleeves back.
Good work there.
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours. He grips your hand tight as a vice and pauses. His fingertips feel your finger bones.
Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I could use someone to watch my back. I've just got a small errand to run. And then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together until we get out of this place?
He shrugs, looking up.
Mercenaries. It's a job. My job. The usual way. 2 heads are better than 1.
He grins.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide... Survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. Too much, you might say. I can make them bleed any which way you want. Which is... Can do. Onwards.
He scans the horizon.
Right you are.
I saw what you did there, convincing Burrow not to lay the law down on that elf. Why do you want to help one of them? Then you're in the wrong place. We run this joint. Griff's people. And
Oh, I don't feel so good.
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and
And what you after?
a grin cracks her.
Sure thing.
bolted on there tight, ain't it?
I've got that special shipment you was asking after.
Keep it down, will ya?
What be you thinking, messing with Griff's brutes anyhow?
Oh, Emmy. A little reprieve from the din outside.
I'll stab you right in the eye!
I know they help.
Shua! 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 Got you!
Thank you for your help with that, thug. Rare is the human who goes against their...
She bows.
It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. We are making beautiful magic. We are healing a tree cut down with great... I hear of no escapes. In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows more than we... Wait, before you go, I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, thank you.
I'll stab you right in the eye! You can't get me!
I feel him, but I do not see him.
Whoever kills the other is the boss! Shua! 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 Got you! Got you! I got you! I magicked you! You're dead!
Ah, my unlikely friend. What do you need?
Whoever kills the other is the boss! You can't get me! I'll stab you right in the eye! Wait, I call a timeout! You're too slow! Wait, I call a timeout! Got you! I got you! You're cheating!
So, Time to find this Boris fellow. Ah, you've read my contract. What does that look in your eye mean? Maybe.
He sniffs the wind, gazing.
But maybe it's going to work out. I've got a contract, a man on the inside. And now you. Good to know. And likewise.
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns toward you when you approach. She smiles as though she...
Ah, hello. I see you come a long way. I see you come here seeking a great adventure. I see it before my eyes. It is not so bad. I know which days have bread and which days have none. I know more bread comes someday. It helps.
Her eyebrows shoot.
There can be a way. My protect. He is caught by those you bring. I see something. Yes, please ask. Oh, I do not cover my eyes. He is. You understand when you meet him. It is safer here. We make no trouble for Griff. He make my home is far. I knew we must.
Evil ogre, or I'll spare you this. You're really Freddy. Go.
A human? You stink. No. I'm a lizard. I guess you were.
I've spotted something. I need to dig here. I need a...
Yes. Is it an audience you desire? One must put in due effort if one is to reap the proper reward.
Help! Help me! You, dead walker! Tell me true. Stand you with the source hunters, or do you serve the tyrant Brackus Rex? Ancient history. Can it have been so long already? Gods, how the time flies. I haven't seen a living soul in all that time. What a wicked king it was. Brackus Rex by name. The Order of the Source Hunters discovered a great horror upon this prison isle, and I was sent to stop it. Yet my failure was absolute. I am not fit to bear the insignia of the Source Hunters any longer. Please, good lady, you must free me. Prise this spear from my chest, where it has been stuck fast for the last 1,000 years. Seize the spear, and...
It's stuck fast. It's stuck fast.
Good sir. You've set my body free. Free to crumble to dust at last. But my spirit... blast! I remain trapped in this mouldering skeleton yet. A spell most terrible. I have heard of such magic, but have never known anyone so foul as to employ it. After he interred me in this cell, he must have drawn my very soul away from me and stored it elsewhere in the fort. Thus he has bound me entirely to the mun. But I know this place well. I could lead you to its likely location. In turn, you would find a path straight out of this fort. My freedom for yours. What say you? Marvelous, my friend. Marvelous. You'll first have to get inside the fort itself. There's a secret switch on a statue of the Seven in the courtyard. Surely you know it. The switch will open a hatch, and you'll be led into the prison's main floor. I suspect that within Brachus's phylactery room, Brachus would have made me a supplicant, a slave to these walls. With your... I was fully briefed about this awful place before I came. My goal was to destroy the fiend who had been marshalling the world's most unwholesome weapons and magic into an army he intended to use against the realm. I never thought I would become one of his victims, and yet, here I am. Fort Joy is a dangerous place, my friend. Dangerous indeed. Brachus used this place to build an arsenal of terrible weaponry as yet unseen in our world. Here, he and his researchers crafted punishments and snares contrary to human dignity. Objects that could contain souls, wands that could purge the very essence from sorcerers. My order would never have used such barbaric...
You. I got you! Wait, I call it
No one tells me there are so many children in this Fort Joy. Stay in this cave.
I am glad to see you. Yes, please ask. My home is far. I knew we must be here. I am not sure how much... I feel him, but I do not see him.
You are in the wrong place, Pinky. Fear? Pity, perhaps. A blind wolf may lead the pack, but sooner or later they will all starve. Never mind. If you need to suit up, I can offer you a fair price. If not, I would thank you to move on.
Got you! I got you! You're cheating!
frightfully busy at the moment, love. Haven't got any liquor on hand, have you? This fella could use it. Why, look at that. Just what I ordered. Ain't you a peach, love? An old poor fella over there crossed one of Griff's card sharks and got a club to the skull. Doomed to be sure, but I...
He smacks your hand away. The man sleeps so deeply, he might as well be dead to the world.
Our healers walk.
Is that thing eating corpses?
The creature heaves through lips gummed with human gore. It turns to you with great effort, pain.
You. Quite lost. Quite lost. Caref now, a little query. Where grows the yarrow? Quickly now, for I haven't much time. Maybe I unscrew your lid and poke about inside and set your memory straight. Would that please you? Can you not remember now? Ugh! Where does the yarrow grow?
You're not trying to escape, are you? Glory is mine. Is mine.
The dead man, creature, thing lies in a heap on the beach.
Whatever it was too dangerous to be allowed to live.
Once that was a person. A sorcerer, perhaps.
So this...
I know that look well enough. You'll find out.
Please, a delivery. Surely you'll have one.
Special shipment.
Griff is slowly...
What? Who's asking?
He smirks.
I'm listening. Thugs? Look at it this way. People get lawless here, and we all starve. Oh, they'll cure you of your sauce. Nightshade will cure you of an headache, too. Sure, have a look. Good stuff, huh?
I got that special shipment you was asking after. Stick your coin there.
He points the tip of his blade at the grisly sight of the elf.
I solve my own problems.
Psst. Hey, you're a little light in your pack, ain't you, girl? Why don't you take a gander at the goodies I got? Let's just say, folks leave here. But only the finest, you know.
Perhaps if those bleeding dwarves didn't eat so much.
When another divine arrives,
Worse than war rations, these.
change back. What if there are no sorcerers left? Yet so quickly we find Source so dangerous. What in his death caused it? So Voidwoken are attracted to Source. But why? When another divine arises, will Source change back? What if there are no sorcerers left? Why hasn't Alexander risen yet?
Leave him be. Don't make me say it again.
Listen, I can help you if you just...
Shut up, elf. This clown? Caught him stealing from my kitchen. Still won't say where he stashed my supplies. Sound like caught him red-handed trying to make off with a second crate after he took the first. Went down like a rent boy when we grabbed supplies. Crate of food, citrus in particular. He'll talk, or he'll die. All I want is my supplies. Happy to let this clown die in a gutter instead of my kitchen. Bring back my crate, and you got yourself a deal. Ain't been here long, have ya?
He twirls his knife between his...
Divine's gone. This blade is the only god watching over Fort Joy.
I got that special shipment you was asking after.
Got it.
Here's the goods. Like you wanted.
Keep it down, will ya?
When another divine arises,
Worse than war rations, these.
What if there are no sorcerers? Yet so quickly we find sources so dangerous.
Heading into the kitchen? Don't try anything funny around, Griff. I'm watching. Ha! Cheeky. What's your name? All right, Slick. Haven't seen you around here before. When did you get... All right, easy now. You seem sweet, but I'm more curious about you than a bunch of cheesy lines.
She sighs.
Another one of those. Anyway, I was serious before. I work for... Move along. Nice and slow. Need something in the kitchen, do you?
The shrine depicts Lucy and the Divine, avatar of the 7 gods. A low, resonant vibration hum. Your knees buckle. The hum...
Shrine, by the looks of it.
Everything now? Good. Ain't fit for beasts.
Hey, Freshie. What you heard about a crate of stolen supplies? And don't... If I did, I wouldn't give them up to you. Griff sent me, not you. Look, I'm Griff's right hand, and I'm...
Hands out your pockets now.
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart, and...
What? Oh, new advice. Hold on to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness, but this place has made you cranky. Oh, come on, chap.
Ho ho! Ain't come to shake me down for my knickers, have you? You're all I got left after your buddies were through with me. That's so. Huh. You look just like 'em. But I've had more bouts of...
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe. As she catches sight of you, recognition flashes in her terrified eyes. She...
Ben missed! Ethan! Ben missed! You killed them! You killed them! He killed them all! Murderer! Keep him away from me! Help! Somebody!
Oh, 10 bottles of mead, oh, 1,000 bottles of dust.
I don't think I ain't watching. That's
Stay back. Stay back. Keep that monster bedmast away from me. Stay back. Guards! Guards! Keep...
Looky here, mates. A fresh face. We love fresh faces, don't we? Why don't you join us in a round of cards? First hands on the house.
Stay back.
Chuff to you, Chief.
You glance at your hand. 2 purple monarchs. A hard hand to beat.
Quite the hand, Freshie. Unfortunately, 2 is less than 5, and that's how many purples I've got. Just my bit of fun, Sharpie. I'm sure the Red Soldier. No one gets along without paying the interment fee. So, let's make this easy. Empty your pockets. Well, you've heard of it now, ain't ya? Go on then, Freshie. Turn 'em out. Lone wolf, eh? If you lot are as fearsome as they say, how'd you let us...
Ralvo looks you up and...
You know what? I'm in a good mood. Take a hike, Freshie.
Children, your supplicants.
Huh? What are you doing here? Thought Griff had you making the rounds inside.
Lest the void overtake and devour us all.
What of it? Ah, grab it in your gobblers, the both of you!
If you don't like the game,
Our Father,
you can fold.
who presideth over us all.
Just 'cause the pair of you are filthy cheating liars don't mean I can't beat ya.
Where is he?
I'm not mad, darling, I'm not mad. Sweetheart? That's my wit. Fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
That's it. I call court. Pay up.
I'm not mad, darling, I'm not mad. Sweetheart? I don't think I ain't watching. That's your fifth blue chest of this round.
What of it?
Yeah, what of it? Ah, grab it in your gobblers, the both of you.
If you don't like the game,
Where is he?
No, no. Just 'cause the pair of you are filthy cheating
Where are you,
liars
darling?
don't mean I
Please.
can't beat ya.
Please, you must help me. No one here will help me. Oh, bless Irma's her name. I'm sick with worry. I last saw her just here. This place turns people cold. Yes, of course.
She soaks up as...
She ought to come with you, Art, and aim.
Pay up.
Our Father, who presideth over us all.
A fella can't hear himself think. Yeah, that, Farah? You gotta cut that out. What's happened to you? I seen his help, but none I can. Distraught, don't he? And there ain't no...
Irma, Mummy's right here. Where are you?
Did you see them, miss? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself? They were just there.
Where are you?
Where is he?
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts...
And what you after? I ain't. Just seeing how it's made. You looking to buy something? Found it in this... Never knew her to be much of a wrench head back in...
She nods once.
You looking to buy something? Or do you just want to waste my time with a whole lot of questions? For you? Hell no. That's for me to know, and you to get out of my face. Buy, or all manner of things. Have a look.
Leave me. Go. You leave me be.
She groans.
Finally kicked the bucket this in. Didn't think I'd miss his grumbling and boasting, but spirit like that leaves a big...
I feel him, but I am glad to see you. You fill me with peace. Ah, you help him. Your open heart surprises even me. You bless me. You bless... I am glad to see you. You fill me with peace. Ah, you help him. You bless me.
My unlikely friend. What do you need? I hear of no escapes.
I feel him, but I do not see him.
You're cheating!
I am glad to see you. Yes, please ask. Ah, you help him. Your open hearts. You say that now.
Фильма видел. Тут нет фильма. Вообще тут фильма нету.
The dog focuses at the cat at your feet. Bear.
Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, she was the one who sat rolling dice in the ship that went under, deciding fates with every roll. Her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away. And you get the distinct feeling no sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold. You feel the tip of a long...
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Better tell me who you really are, or this time, I'll let my needle do the licking. Not so very far from home, I'm sure. This is the
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face... Despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice something that remained undetected in the gloom of the ship. A flaw in her diamond features.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a bad old time, But now I'm free, of sorts. And I've traced that lizard here to I intend to raise the subject with him.
She drives the needle in deeper.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me, Mark. That makes you a liability. That makes you...
A bright sparkle of laughter followed...
Ha! How amusing. I admit I had not seen... Make your case and do it quickly. Why should I join you? Escape? How you do tickle me. Most of the misguided dears around here would argue such a thing is impossible. Well played. Oh, little needle mine, what should I do? You know what? Today is a rather fine day. Sunshine and I'm not quite sure the weather will save...
With a casual flick of the wrist, she withdraws the needle from your neck and smiles, as if she just invited you to sit down for tea.
Yes, the needle did find you rather tough to chew. Then again, I already knew. This may strike you as, rather eccentric.
She tilts her head ever so slightly and looks at you almost mocking.
Yeah. Let's discuss our respective roles. You, me, and Death will be playing many around. As a rogue, my speciality is stealth. The quick silence of the dagger striking unseen. That said, I'm perfectly lethal wielding any weapon or magic. So, the choice is yours. But of course, I can play the strings of magic like a harpist her instrument. Is there any specific tune that takes your preference? Suits me fine. Lead on. Or better yet, let me take the lead, then follow me.
You're not quite certain.
Your eyes brim with inquiry, so ask. We may see no bars, but we are firmly behind them here and now. Ha! Ha! Shouldn't be... Let's save those for later, shall we? Not in a final... Why? Did you assume I wouldn't? The only thing that and one must cull to cull. Huh. I walked up to the quay, asked for the ship to... I'm here to hunt, remember?
Are you certain you want to dismiss your companion?
Something on your mind? It's simple. He scarred me, so I scarred him.
She defies you with devilishly innocent...
Can you blame me? There it is. I was wondering when your spying would make an appearance. Anyway, what's dead is done, so let's move on, shall we? Despite my high hopes, this... You know what? I'm feeling a bit peckish. And sting to 2 birds, 1 stone. How about it?
Sibyl gently places a hand on the small of your bag. Her mouth...
Let me have a word with the gentleman, would you? I've a little clue to follow up on.
Sibyl steps forward and asks Griff the cook about the lone wolves. A dead little birdie told her he's the man to talk to. A little back and forth ensues. Money crosses hands, and before you know it, Sibyl...
Thank you. We should make good on our escape, you know. I have to see a man about a wolf in the hollow marshes. Naught but a whelp in skillful hands, and Zalaskar's his name. A name for the taking, if it comes to that.
If a magister finds this on you, you forget my name, here?
Ain't fit for beasts.
Oh, Penny.
The old dog whimpers. The old dog whimpers.
Ain't fit for beasts.
We will rejoin our comrades.
When's it gonna be killing time?
I've waited this long. I can
We
wait
will
longer.
rejoin our comrades.
You come to fight. You come to prove yourself. You come to be worthy. There can only be one, and you have but one chance.
She scoffs.
To prove you are the one. Never mind. The one does not ask such a question. Good. Who aids you? Choose wisely. Whether you fail or succeed, you do not fight more than once. come to fight.
She scoffs.
To prove... Never. Good. Who aids?
When's it gonna be killing time?
Nice. Just nice. Hope for the next batch.
I can wait longer.
I ache for battle.
The old man looks you up and down and...
Will you fight? I will watch with great... Who will be next?
We will.
She sizes you up as you approach.
You've yet to experience the joy and pain of... It's true that you sag like an arthritic vulture. If you... Yet I see potential in you. The spirit of the One is everywhere. It exists beyond... I believe you could, but it's not certain. That's a tale only you can tell. I fight not to be named the One, but to reveal the One. It is the wise choice. Now you may enter the arena with the blessings of the One.
A deep grumble emerges from him.
Well, get a load of you. You got swagger, I'll give you that. You think I'm worried about a butt? Ain't looking to pick a fight outside the arena. First time, sound like a living else. It's a fight. Glad I found it. Spent half my life ripping apart men and mages, sometimes for pay. And so, sure, as powerful as anyone else seems to me, my blade doesn't discriminate. The One might sound crazy to ya. Don't know about it. Yep. One thing the old woman taught me is to ignore anybody's... And let me tell you...
He grumbles what sound...
When's it gonna be killing time?
I ache for battle.
Ain't fit for beasts.
Don't tell anyone where you got this, eh?
Everything
Still
now?
on your feet, eh? Glad to hear it. Feel free to take... Fella in that cage is the thief. Stashed the oranges somewhere before he was caught. If you believe that. Sure do. Ask me. It'd have to be one of those sad sacks that's always hanging around Griff looking for favours.
She darts her tongue out of her mouth like a snake.
Some folks, and some reptiles, will do anything to get his attention. I see plenty of liars in my line of work, Snake, sure do. Oh,
she darts her...
I see plenty of liars in my line of work. It's all in the eyes. Joy lives in the eyes, sometimes way in the back, but it's there all the same. Sure you don't want to have a look at my stock before you go? I was serious about what I said. Everything in my pack's been got by special means. Nice and slow. Heading into the kitchen? Don't try anything funny around Griff.
Well, he runs this place and...
Move along! Move along! Still on your feet, eh? Glad to it.
Still here? Thought you would have gotten cured by now. The Reds, you heard of anyone that might have taken Griff's supplies yet?
I got that special shipment you was asking after.
Got it.
If I did, I wouldn't give them up to you. Griff sent me, not you. Yeah.
Griff glances from his blade to you and back again.
You already know the terms.
Griff tears into one of the oranges with both hands. Juice squirts through his hands as he...
Looks like everything's accounted for. Now the important question. Who's the thief?
Don't tell anyone where you got this, eh?
He raises an eyebrow.
Looks like someone did my job for me. Your guy's free to go. It should be fine. Eventually.
It is done. And quickly. I hold my end of the bargain. I show you the way out. But Sahela, she is everything. A ruler. It is for all our people. Give me your map.
I give you this amulet. You must pass it to the elves who still remain.
I go to her. I would...
Worse than war rations, these.
Don't tell anyone where you got this, eh?
Everything there? Good.
Ain't fit for beasts.